Yes, thank you all for joining me. My name is Michael Smith, the National Consumer Education Manager of Janome Canada. And yes, I'm back at the Janome Sewing and Learning Center to present to you another Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour on Grandma Craw. Hello, it seems like forever since I've seen you. So that's great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us just in time for the magical, mystery to be revealed. So I hope you all have seen Tanya's beautiful artwork on our Janome HQ Instagram page. But yes, we'll reveal some more secrets today as to what is the machine I'm going to be talking about today. So let me flip that around. So yes, on our Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour with Tanya's beautiful artware there, what will we be talking about today? Ooh, it's always a mystery. I love a good mystery. So yes, the machine we're going to talk about today, well, there are some clues. It'll allow you to do some beautiful quilting. I hope you all think this is beautiful quilting too. And whenever we talk about quilting, we're not just limited to bed quilts anymore. How about quilted, let me move this back a little bit. How about table runners, quilted table runners? You see that beautiful red stitching? Or this could be a bed runner as well, that it's, again, multi-purpose. And, a lot of the times when I travel and have gone to the various Janome dealers to do presentations and stay in a lot of hotels, they all seem to have these bed runners now. So, again, if you're not into big quilts anymore, then how about a quilted bed runner? Oh, Gordon Madeline, hello. Excellent. Perfect timing. Or even little quilted projects like this was so simple. Oh, Marianne, hello, hello. So this could be like a mug rug. So as you're doing your practice, free motion stitching, for example, why not make a mug rug? So this, I just couch some yarn, zigzag some yarn around the edges, and boom, there I've got a mug rug. Or again, with Christmas coming up just around the corner, how about mug rugs for Christmas? Or how about, quilted stockings and such? So there is a cute little mug rug, again, with all this like stippling in the background and some free motion. So instead of just wasting this, then again, couch some yarns around the edges, and then now it's a mug rug. So how cute is that? So yes, or other quilted projects. Instead of, again, big quilts, how about we quilt some fabric, like all this cross-hatching, very simple, and then cut the fabric up and make like tote bags that, we can take to the grocery store, whichever. And again, a little practice free motion quilting. You can see I'm always doing that same, I don't even know what to call it. It's like little shells in a way, I don't know. But yeah, so you can do free motion as well as doing all this ruler quilting with the straight line. This design was done with the Pro Stitcher Premium Computer, which I will be talking about in future Janome HQ Magical Machine Mystery Tour. But this could easily be done with a stencil, for example, that you could draw this out on your fabric and then free motion quilting trace this around. So again, quilting doesn't always have to be big bed quilts. Or I believe I showed this, yes, when I talked about our fabulous Quiltmaker Pro quilting machine, I showed this beautiful yarn couched pillow that, again, normally is in my suitcase when I fly on airplanes, but I have not been on airplanes anytime soon. But yeah, so there's so much you can do quilting-wise. So, and of course, Janome has a machine for you to accommodate whatever kind of quilting you want to do. Now, again, I already talked about our fabulous Janome Quiltmaker Pro 18 was the big long arm on the 12-foot frame. And even though you can customize that frame and have it be 4 feet or 8 feet, it doesn't always have to be 12 feet. But again, and some people say, oh, that machine's too big. Well, then I talked about our cute little Quiltmaker Pro 16 on the 5-foot frame, this stand-up machine with the hoop frame. And some people said, oh, no, that's still, too big. It's more than I want. I'm more of a sit-down quilter. Well, ta-da! This is your machine. If you find those long arm machines a little too big, you don't really have the space, maybe a little higher in budget that you're wanting to spend at the time, or again, you'd rather sit down as opposed to stand up at the machine, then this Artistic Quilter SD, which stands for sit down, 16 is the machine for you. And I'm very happy to say, many times in the Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour, and I've said, oh, well, a lot of our machines are on back order. We've had this unprecedented demand for machines during the pandemic, but I'm very happy to say that this Artistic Quilter sit-down SD-16 is in stock. It is in our warehouse. So you could order one of these machines from your Janome dealer and be a way to go. Oh, hello, Evelyn. Hello. So yes, this adorable Artistic SD-16, as you might imagine, stands for, again, SD is sit down, and 16 refers to the space that this beautiful throat space is. Oh, I can barely get it all in the frame. Because yes, from the needle over to the side of the machine here is 16 inches. Now, we also have 8¼ inches up top, so we've got lots of throat space to fit your quilting. As an example, let's pretend this big roll of batting is my quilt. You could do like a king-size quilt. It really doesn't matter what size you do. So look at all of that. This could be your whole big quilt top, all rolled up. Oh, so be it, clothier. Hello, hello. This could be your whole big quilt top rolled up in that throat space as you're doing whatever kind of quilting you want to do, free motion wise, or if you want to use, again, rulers or some of the fabulous accessory presser feet, then that is great. So for now, I just have, the little sandwich here. But again, whatever kind of quilting you want to do, it doesn't have to be big, giant quilts all the time. But yes, the Artistic Quilter SD-16, I love this little red accent. Red is Janome's color, so I love that. This faceplate reminds me of the faceplate that you see on a number of our machines, like the MemoryCraft 9850, for example, has a similar shaped screen in a different color, but still different, the same shaped screen. So yes, I love the little accent of red because then, oh, look, I have a fabulous arrow chair in red, so it matches. Who doesn't want to coordinate in their sewing room? So that's great. So what I love about the Artistic Quilter, I'll just call it the AQSD for short, is that it has an adjustable table. The legs are adjustable in height, so whatever height that you need, and again, your arrow chair can also, these are the ones with the hydraulic lift. So this will also accommodate to different heights as well. But it's a very big table, so again, lots of room for your quilt of any kind to splay out on. Now, there is an optional leaf that will attach back here to the table to extend up to give you more quilting surface as well. That's an optional accessory. And again, as always, check with your local Janome dealer. They may not have these machines, in stock on their floor, but again, it's available from our warehouse, so they could order it for you. But because I don't have that leaf here, you can also do, this could be like a big ironing board, or this is our little Gidget table that again has got the cutout in the center for a sewing machine, could sit there and then drop down, or raise it up, and then this could be a good table to put behind your quilting machine. Now, this could be also your domestic sewing machine as well. If you need more space to support your quilt, you could put, again, this little Gidget table, doesn't really weigh much at all, very easy to assemble, and then that could go behind your quilting surface to give you more space. Or then here, with all these beautiful accessories, I have the universal side table, again, another table that you could purchase from your Janome dealer. Now, this table does not have a cutout, so it would be great for, like, your serger, for example, to sit on top, or throw a tablecloth over it, and it can be a great side table that you would use in your house. You could decorate it for the holidays. But with your Artistic Quilter sit-down machine, we've got the fabulous bobbin winder. This is the same that comes with our Quiltmaker Pro 18 and Quiltmaker Pro 16. And as I mentioned, for those presentations, which you can go back and review review on the Janome HQ Instagram page on the IGTV icon, or you can also go to the Janome HQ YouTube channel, and I've loaded those videos up there. And last week's episode of the Memorycraft 230E is also finally up on the Janome HQ YouTube channel. But yes, you can go back and review those presentations to see more about this bobbin winder. But again, one thing that I really love is that it's got the speed control and the stop-start button. So when I wind my bobbins, and I do this on my domestic machines as well, I always turn the speed down really low and then start the bobbin to make sure, is it going to wind correctly? Is the thread going to go back and forth on the bobbin? It's the same process on our domestic machine as it is here for the long arm quilting machines. And once I know that it's going to safely go back and forth, it's not going to jump out of the tension there, then I can turn it up and go a little faster. Now, I never go all the way up to 10. That's like super, super fast. The faster your thread winds, the more likely it is to stretch. So therefore, I like to just do like a medium speed, which is great. So again, bobbin winder comes included. That's great. And if you have any trouble, if it jumps out of the tension, you always can just stop it. So no problem. And then, comes with a little bag of accessories, extra bobbins. Now it's got the big M class bobbin, again, just like our Quiltmaker Pro 18 and Quiltmaker Pro 16. So you can wind your own. They do have some M class pre-wounds as well, but I always end up just winding my own because then that way I know I can always match my thread. Speaking of thread, we're going to be using our beautiful Madeira Aero Quilt thread again. I absolutely love that. So again, you can get that from your Janome dealer as well. And then, maintenance on this AQSD-16, super easy to do. A little vial of oil does come included with your machine, but also from your Janome dealer, you can purchase these cute Janome quality sewing machine oil, and they've got the big telescoping head, so then you can get the oil exactly where you need it. So a little bit of maintenance to oil the hook, to brush it out and keep it clean where your bobbin goes. Again, full instructions are always included with the machine, and that's really all the maintenance you're going to do. So very simple, very easy to do. And then the fun thing is, then you can get all these beautiful accessories. Now, this little Quiltmaker Pro tension journal that I talked about when I talked about the Quiltmaker Pro 16, actually, this has got a little strip of Velcro, so you could just attach it to your machine or your table. And it's a cute little journal there when you can write down all the information of your quilting project. So what thread you used, what needle you used, what batting, what fabric, everything. So then that way, when you go back to use that same batting again and that same thread or that same fabric, then you've already got some specifics you can go back to refer to, so you're not just always starting from scratch all the time. So even though the AQSD is not a Quiltmaker Pro per se, but you can certainly use that journal the same. And then all these beautiful Sew Comfortable rulers. Janome is now has a Sew Comfortable line of products, and these long arm rulers are one of them. So there's many different shapes. This beautiful clamshell, for example, and look, they're a 1/4 of an inch thick, so they're safe to use on your long arm, be it the Quiltmaker Pro 18 or Quiltmaker Pro 16, or if you have another brand of long arm, these will work on those too. And with your AQSD-16, they will work, again, because of that 1/4 inch, so we don't have to worry about these sliding under our hopping foot. So these will work on your machine as well. And then, the accessory feet like the ruler foot. Now it says, again, Quiltmaker Pro, but so this will work on Quiltmaker Pro 18, this will work on Quiltmaker Pro 16, but this will also work on your AQSD-16 sit-down machine. It's the same foot, it's the same needle bar, so all of those accessory feet that you use for your Quiltmaker Pro will also work on your Artistic Quilter sit-down. So that's really cool. So maybe you and a friend whom you might have different machines, but you could still share the same accessories. Also in the Sew Comfortable line Isn't this genius? Why didn't I think of it? It's one of those things where I think, I wish I would have invented this. It's a board, but it's got these, like this felty, grippy fabric, basically, attached to it. And you know what this is. This is from the Sew Comfortable line as well, that it is a non-slip foot pedal pad. So no matter what your foot pedal, and if you have our domestic sewing machines, you know, with the big extra wide foot pedal, so there it is on the carpet. You know, we've got a very low pile, industrial carpet here at the Janome Sewing and Learning Center, but I find some of the foot pedals still want to slip on the carpet because it's, again, a very low pile. So it's a looped pile. So then, again, it's kind of slippery. So by having this non-slip foot pedal pad, there is no movement of that presser foot. So that is, or that foot pedal. So that is perfect. So I love that. And again, all that's available from your Janome dealer. Now, when I will move, this camera. Again, this is why I love having Tanya here as my camera woman. But I'll try to make do on my own. Oh my God, JP is here. Hello, hello. Ooh, hello. It is very good to see you all. I don't want to make anyone seasick moving this camera too much. But yes, I wanted to show you some beautiful specifics on the AQSD-16. We have our telescoping thread stand, for example, which again, all of our other long arms, the Quiltmaker Pro 16, Quiltmaker Pro 18 have, the industrial sewing machines, they all have that telescoping thread stand to give you optimum thread delivery. So that's beautiful. And again, most of this threads just like a regular sewing machine. And certainly just like your Quiltmaker Pro 16, Quiltmaker Pro 18, the controls specifically I wanted to show you because the cool thing about this machine, if your Janome dealer doesn't carry it, where can we purchase it? Any Janome dealer, ultimately, Bev asked that question, any Janome dealer will be able to order it for you. Again, they may not have one on their floor, but they will be able to order it for you. Depending, Bev, I'm not sure if you're in Canada or not, but even, again, if you're in Janome, Australia, for example, I believe they carry this machine. I'm not sure, because different countries will carry different machines, but again, any of the dealers can order it for you. But yes, the cool thing about this machine is it does come with a stitch regulator. You choose to use it or not. It is called the True Stitch Regulator, and I have it all hooked up here, and it just sits behind the machine, but it allows you to do your free motion quilting in regulated mode, which typically is unheard of when you're doing free motion quilting. So if you have a domestic sewing machine and you need a little bit more space, then, yes, this beautiful 16-inch throat space will definitely accommodate. But then if you're worried, I'm not that good of a free motion quilter, well, you've got the True Stitch regulator that comes with the machine. So consider it like training wheels that you can use. And then, as you build up your confidence and your muscle memory for free motion, then you either choose not to use it at all. Some people say, oh no, they don't want to be bothered with it. Great, that's your option. The nice thing, it comes with. Now, as part of this True Stitch regulator, though, here is like the receiver, and then this, I often call it the little flying saucer, is this little magnetized little puck that communicates with all these flashing lights, communicates with the receiver to give you that stitch regulation. And then it does have this little cradle here as well. So as you're getting to the edge of your quilt and you want to quilt, not sure where to put this camera so you can all see. So as you get to the edge of your quilt, you can clip on this cradle of your stitch regulator. So then that way it's still going to communicate with the receiver. So then again, I hope you can all see as I'm stitching. So again, if I'm going to stitch way out to the edge of my quilt, I can still do it in stitch regulated mode because of that cradle holding the stitch regulator. So it's a very cool system. So I can again get right out to the edge of my quilt. Now you may hear as I'm quilting along, the motor kind of revs up and slows down based on my movements. But then I can also go and turn off my stitch regulator and go into manual mode, and then I don't need to use this little puck at all. And then do you hear my motor is a constant speed, so it's up to me to move. I'm the stitch regulator in manual mode, and again, this is the same on your domestic machine as well, that you control how big, how long your stitches are. So again, it's just takes practice to get comfortable. Now, to help get you comfortable with your free motion quilting, though, also in the Sew Comfortable line, I love these little palm quilting paddles that have that same kind of rubbery grip that your foot pedal pad has, your non-slip foot pedal pad. So this way, it's really easy to grip your fabric, and then you move in whatever direction you want. I'll move a little more so you guys can see. So then these really help move your fabric, again, however you wish, as you're doing your free motion quilting, in whatever direction you want to do. But also, if not those pads, although I love those because then they're little and they're very comfortable. But then we also have these ones as well that have like the knobs that you would hold on to. Yeah, like that. So then, again, hopefully you can see this all. So again, very easy to move your fabric, again, in whatever direction you want to do. I'm not quilting anything too particular wonderful right now, but, or then also, again, Janome is all about choices. So in the Sew Comfortable range, we have these big hoops. They remind me of steering wheels. So these will also help, again, with that same non-slip grip on your fabric, so allow you to move your quilt around too. So it's really good to, again, give you more of that confidence of free motion quilting and the control of your fabric. And certainly by having a machine, again, with this much throat space that you can accommodate, and a nice big table. Again, table is fully adjustable in height as well. So that's great. So you've got a lot of wonderful features here. Again, I've got a manual mode, or if I want to use the little stitch regulator here, I can also, again, take it out of its cradle and then put it anywhere with the strong magnet. I can put it anywhere on my fabric. And so long as it's somewhat close to the receiver, then again, it will do its stitch regulation. It's really great. As you get further along with your quilting, though, if I'm quilting way out over here, then if I'm too far away from the receiver, then that's where I may lose some of that stitch regulation. So that's why you want to always reposition your puck and move it closer to your area of stitching, and then that way you will always get that stitch regulation. It's a really great system to use, again, if you choose so. It's, again, kind of like training wheels to get you comfortable with it, and then after a while you may not need it at all, or if you always want to use it, again, that's your choice as well. So again, this machine is so versatile, you can use it however you wish. And again, feel free to use your rulers with your fabulous ruler foot that will fit, very easy. So you can do ruler quilting, you can do your free motion quilting, or again, quilting in stitch regulation. We also have a baste feature. So if you wanted to baste a quilt, especially like for a hand quilter, let's say, I can just hit the baste button, and then it is, oops, I need to get out of regulated. Then I hit baste, and then here it will, every 2 seconds, it will do a stitch. So then it's up to you to decide how long you want that stitch to be. So then I can move it, and then every 2 stitches, or every 2 seconds, it's going to do a stitch. So I just keep moving my quilt along however far I want. So that's a good thing to, again, baste your sides of your quilt. Or again, if you were going to send this off to a hand quilter, you could help baste it together first for them. So that is a great feature. And again, you can adjust the differences. It doesn't have to be 2 seconds. You can adjust that. But certainly you can, once you're at a baste, you can select in manual mode how fast you want your motor to be. There's some presets here. So if I'm doing ruler quilting, for example, and I want to go slower, then I could select 30% motor speed, for example. Or if I'm doing a big meandering, stipple, and I just want to go really fast, then again, I've got it at 70%. So it's whatever you want it to be. Again, I can go slower or I can go really fast. We have ultimately 1,800 stitches per minute, so you can really get your quilting done fast. So again, lots of good features. Needle up and down, I love, just like our domestic sewing machine. So you can program it. Do you want it to stay up or down? Now, this number down here is quite helpful, and this is where your little thread tension journal will come in. Oh, I hope you can see it with the glare. But now it says 290. So this number is relative, but what that number corresponds with is our thread tensioner here. Then this is the same that we have on the Quiltmaker Pro 18, that as I adjust this tension dial for my needle thread, then that number will change. So then I can set my thread, again, as I'm adjusting the dial right now, it's at 310, or then I'm going to put it back down to like 285 is where I had it before. And you basically just want to test and experiment and look at the back of your quilt. Oh, does it look beautiful? Do the stitches look good? Okay, then 285 is where I want to be. So you can write that in your little thread journal. So again, that way when you go back to do the same quilting project with the same batting, the same thread, then you know, oh, do my stitches still look good at 285? Or maybe you might say, oh, I need to adjust it now to 300. So it really depends. It's more of it's a guideline. It's not a definite, but it will at least help you know where to set your tension, because tension is often a very scary subject for people. So by having that automatic thread tensioner here built into the machine, that again takes out some of that guesswork for you. So it gives you that confidence to adjust your tension. When I started sewing 30 years ago, my sewing teacher said, don't touch the tension. On a long arm quilting machine such as this, we need to adjust the tension. You can use so many beautiful threads. Again, I love our Madeira Aerolock, but you can use so many beautiful threads, and your tension is always going to change based on your batting and your fabric, and again, what kind of quilting you're going to do. So it's good to get comfortable adjusting that tension, and then that automatic thread tensioner guide will give you that, again, that confidence to do so. But we even have, some cool diagnostics here. Oh, many people want to know, when is my bobbin going to run out? So you can set that alert if you would like. Timers I thought was cool too. When you go to your sewing room and you say, oh, I'm just going to quilt for 10 minutes, and all of a sudden an hour goes by. But here you can actually really do set this. You can set it for, okay, I've got 10 minutes to go. And then as soon as you activate it, then it starts counting down. So I think that's very cool to have. Then that way you're never going to be running late. But also then, yes, there's many different options for language and all of that, so you can go through. So it's quite a sophisticated computer system here. And there is a USB port built into the machine, so if it ever were to get an update, you can do that as well. So that's very good. You're not limited that way. But I wanted to go back to this regulated mode. This play function is very cool. Now, I mentioned, again, we've got our non-slip foot pad here for our foot pedal. But, when you use your domestic sewing machine, some people love using the stop-start button. They don't want to use the foot pedal. They disconnect it. So here, I can press the play button, and now I don't need the foot pedal at all. So I'm not worried about that at all. So what I can do to go over and stop it is then I hit play to start, and then it keeps going, and then I hit pause to stop it. So again, you don't even need your foot pedal. So how cool is that? So there's so many fabulous options. Again, I could go on talking forever, but already I see that we're getting into that magical time. Oh, but one thing I did want to mention with this table, which I loved as well. You know, when you're working on your quilts and you're throwing your quilt around everywhere, even the table, it's got this built-in little shelf here. So it's cool to put some of your supplies, again, your little Allen wrench that you'll use to change your needles and change your presser feet. So that, of course, it comes included, your little pack of needles, just in case. That's always nice to have handy. But then, of course, I showed these on Janome Magical Machine Mystery Tour last week, and then I actually did a Janome HQ Facebook Live on Saturday. So if you haven't followed our Janome HQ Facebook page yet, I encourage you go onto Facebook, and I did an impromptu live last Saturday while I was here quilting alone, actually, and I thought I'll just check in with my Janome HQ peeps and see how you're doing and what you are all up to. So I definitely want to do more Facebook Lives as well, and I showed these beautiful mini duckling scissors. These are brand new at Janome. So these, again, available from your Janome dealer. They're little 4-inch, typically embroidery scissors, and I was demoing them doing some in the hoop applique, but I love them. They're, again, such a perfect little size. So as you're going along and you're doing your quilting, ooh, I don't want this camera to fall over. As you're doing your quilting, oh gosh, then again, it's really super simple to cut your threads. So you can use your little embroidery scissors for your quilting as well. So yeah, sorry about the camera movements. Again, this is why I need Tanya. So yes, I will flip this around and I will say goodbye to you all. Thank you so much for joining me today. Again, it always seems to go by so fast. I have so much information. I want to tell you all about how fabulous all the machines are, but again, that's certainly not enough time. So again, I encourage you always to contact your local Janome dealer. And again, if they don't have one of these machines in their store, they can always order it for you. Because here, at least in Janome Canada, I know, yes, they're in our warehouse, thankfully, because again, we've had an unprecedented demand for sewing machines. So if any of you have ordered domestic sewing machines, whatever it is, or parts as well, you know, thank you for your continued patience. They're coming, you know, Janome machines come from another side of the world, you know, so it takes a little while even for that to get here, but it's well worth the wait, that's for sure. So thank you so much for all of your support of, again, not only of our Janome and our fabulous Janome dealers, but certainly your support of Janome HQ. I love being able to connect with you all. So I hope to see you all next Wednesday for another Janome HQ, Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour. And again, what machine will I be talking about? Oh, I don't know. It's a mystery. So tune in. So thank you, everyone. Enjoy your day. Fabulous. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I love sharing the Janome love. So thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye.